The Battle of Hunayn. After the grand victory, the prominence of the Arab idolaters had nearly ended. Most of the tribes embraced Islam. However, two of them, the Hawazin and the Thaqif, could not bear to see the growth of Islam, and they formed an alliance with many other small tribes under Malik bin Auf Nadri to fight the Muslims. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam consulted his companions, and it was agreed to meet the new challenge. A force of 12,000 Muslims marched to Hunayn. 10,000 of them were the Muhajirs and Ansar, and the rest were the people of Makkah who had embraced Islam at the time of the conquest. There were among them 80 non-Muslims, polytheists, who had joined the army as supporters of their own free will. This army reached Hunayn on the 10th of Shawwal 8 AH, corresponding to February 630 CE. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam handed the banner of the Muhajirs to Sayyidina Ali radiyallahu anhu, of the Ansar to Khabbab bin Munzir radiyallahu anhu for the Khazraj, and to Usayd bin Huzayr radiyallahu anhu for the Aus, and to other chieftains for their different tribes. He himself was attired in proper fighting dress and led the Islamic army. Even before the fighting had commenced, the Muslims felt inwardly proud of their strength and numbers, and without saying Insha'Allah, if Allah wills, some of the Muslims boasted that none could defeat them. It is not proper for a Muslim to rely on his strength and forget Allah, and indeed, Allah did not approve of this attitude. Thus, when the fighting began and the Muslims advanced, and arrows were rained down upon them from the mountain tops from all four sides, the Muslim army was disorganized on receiving the shower of arrows, and except for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the front rank of the companions radiyallahu anhum, most of the men fled. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam continued to call out, Ana nabiyyu la kadhib, ana ibn Abdul Muttalib. I am the Prophet, that's not a lie. I am the son of Abdul Muttalib. He asked Sayyidina Abbas radiyallahu anh to summon back the Muslims, and he called out loudly, O body of Ansar, O companions of the pledge of Ridwan. Hardly had he given the call when all the Muslims rallied around Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and turned their defeat into a resounding victory. There was a veteran man with the army of the idolaters, Durayd bin al-Simmah. He had vehemently opposed the idea of Malik to take along women, children, and possessions, but Malik did not agree with him and took them with him. The result was that all their wealth came into the Muslims' hands as spoils of war, and the idolaters were completely routed and dispossessed. Until then, though most of the polytheists had recognized the glory of Islam, yet they persisted in their ways. But when they saw this blessing of Allah, they joined Islam sincerely. The Battle of Hunayn in the Quran. The Quran recalls the false pride which Muslims had showed over their numbers, their initial defeat, and then victory. O believers, certainly Allah has already helped you on many battlefields, and on the day of Hunayn, when your multitude elated you, but it availed you nothing, and the land with all its vastness straitened upon you, then you turned back, retreating. Then Allah sent down His calm upon His messenger and upon the believers, and sent down forces whom you saw not, and chastised those who disbelieved. And such is the recompense of the disbelievers. Yet Allah thereafter will relent towards whom He will, and Allah is forgiving, merciful. Surah Tawbah, verses 25 to 27.